College is goofy, and no one really knows what's going on half the time. So after stumbling for 2 years in college at Ohio State, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that would be really helpful to know before I went. So here are my top 10 tips, completely unfiltered, for people going to Ohio State. And even if you don't, they're pretty good advice, so I feel like they might be clutch anyways. So you should still watch. I look like I'm in a prison cell. So the first big tip for Ohio State, or just really any other college that you go to, is to try and figure out all the important apps that you need on your phone. Ohio State specifically has the OSU app, which you can log into and get access to your school grades, your class schedule, your calendar. Literally like anything important will probably be on the OSU app. It also gives you a lot of resource guides, current bus routes that are running, kind of just a hodgepodge of everything that you would get within the actual OSU website on your phone. After that is an app called Duo Mobile, not related with Duolingo, and it's basically the two-factor authentication service that OSU uses to make sure that I don't know. Because normally, they would have to text your phone number, the 7-digit code for you to log into your account, but with the actual Duo app, all you would have to do is click a button on your phone and then it would automatically sign you in. OSU's email service is through Microsoft, which means that you kind of have to use Outlook. I would just say to download it so that you can keep track of all your emails. Another really handy-dandy app is the RPAC app for the OSU gyms. If you forget your Buck ID and you can't get into the actual facility, you can get your Buck ID barcode from the app and just scan it in at the front. And probably the most important one that you would need is the app called Canvas. It's the program that Ohio State uses for all of your classes, so having it on your phone means that you can have your reminders for classes on your phone, you can access class assignments from your phone, you can submit homework assignments from your phone, you get the gist. And then one extra cool one that I would recommend is to download the extension called Task for Canvas on your computer. It basically appears on your Canvas homepage and it gives you like a completion bar of how many assignments you've already done. I think it's really good to visualize how much homework I still have to do. It's just a really nice feature and I could not find the name for it for like the longest time, so that's the name of it. So now that you're prepped for a lot of basic things, let's talk about how you can meet people on campus. The biggest and probably fastest way to meet someone on campus is to go to the involvement fair. Almost every single club on campus will go and try and pitch their club to you. There's one the Sunday before the first classes on the Oval during the fall semester, and there's a second one, I think the second week of January, and once you go, you just kind of walk around and see what you want to engage in. They section it off so that different clubs are in different parts of the area, like you have the academic one, the volunteer one, the engagement one, the cultural one, the religious one, the Greek life one. I ran out of things on my list. You can be in the rocket club and make rockets. You can be in the mock trial club and compete. You can be in the euchre club and play euchre. You can be a part of insert cultural club and low-key just eat really good food. And a decent amount of them are low commitment, so it's not like something that you have to be signed up for. It's just a bunch of people having a good time. But if you don't exactly meet your crowd there and you're living on campus, meeting people on your floor is also another great way to make new friends, especially since all of you are just basically sharing the same place to live. Resident advisors will probably host a lot of different events and cool things for you to just meet other people on your floor, and you'll probably meet a lot of other people that are trying to meet people too. Meanwhile, there's other good ways, such as talking to people in class. And another final way is to get a job. But it's definitely another way where you can engage on campus and meet new people. Now, I'm not saying that all of these will work and let you make new friends. This is just a few of the ways that I met a lot of really cool people on campus, so it might work out for you too. Alright guys, the third tip is to go outside. Trust me, you can go outside and touch grass. I believe in you. But legitimately, contrary to popular belief, there is a lot of things to do on campus. You can hang out in the Oval. You can visit Orton Museum. You can visit the Cartoon Museum. You can go explore South Campus. Like, I don't really know what's down there, but they have some pretty cool buildings. You can visit West Campus. Same thing, they also have some pretty cool buildings. You can go to the planetarium. You can run or bike down the Olentangy Trail. You can go to the gaming center. You can go ice skating. I mean, you can go to the gym. It's always nice to chill around Mirror Lake when the weather's good, and there's a bunch of gardens out on West Campus which are pretty nice to see too. Until the path ends. Why did it end? I don't know. You can buy football tickets or go to any sport event for that matter. The only ones that I believe cost money are basketball, football, and women's hockey, and any other OSU sport that you go to watch will be free, so why not? And from that list, that's not even mentioning anything such as clubs. You can go to things such as an improv show, a cultural festival, a student-led concert, an OUAB event, or just whatever's going on. A Taste of OSU is where you can go and eat food from around the globe. Buckeye Frenzy at the start of the year is basically a carnival with a lot of free food and a lot of free activities and trinkets. Dorms have their own events, such as Moral Tower's Halloween event or Taylor Tower's Sex Ed Bingo, or just go to your resident advisor's event. They usually have free food or something free to give out. There's even things that you shouldn't do if you're under the age of 21, but you can do that if you're over the age of 21. And if you're down to go outside of campus, then there's everything else that Columbus has to offer, because you can ride the Coda bus here for free and get to basically anywhere nearby. I mean, sometimes I'm just walking outside and there's just a bunch of people staring at their phones and I'm like, what are you doing? And they were playing Pokemon Go, and I said, screw it. And I played Pokemon Go for 2 hours. But legitimately, there's always something going on campus, whether you want to do it by yourself or with some of your friends. So I'm sure you'll find some way to do something. As for tip number 4, know when a restaurant closes, and more specifically, when to get food. I swear to God, a canon event for everyone is wanting to get food, but everything being closed and then just going back hungry. So here's my best take for OSU restaurants if you want to get food. Most of the small to mid-sized cafes open around 7 to 8 a.m., but they usually close at 5 p.m., so you really don't want to go there for dinner. The second wave of closings is around 7 to 8 p.m. Smaller places like Oxley's To Go and Bread Company close at 7, and meanwhile Courtside or other bigger cafes close at 8. The big dining halls of Traditions at Scott, Traditions at Kennedy, and Traditions at Morrill all close at 9 p.m. on weekdays, except for Fridays and Saturdays. They're only open until 8 p.m., and I've gotten caught multiple times trying to get food and then realized they're closed. And finally, the latest places where you can still get food on campus will be Marketplace at Curl and Sloopy's at 10 p.m. Pancakes at 9:30 at night really do hit different. Another restaurant called Woody's Tavern in the Union also closes at 10 p.m., but I've also seen them literally close up shop like at 9:30, so I wouldn't exactly bet on that one personally. Keep in mind though, a lot of these times differ from weekday to weekends, so always try to Google the times before you actually go. Which kind of segues to my 5th tip, but not really. Basically, cafes on campus are underrated, but also There are cafes like everywhere on campus, and I mean everywhere. I probably haven't even been to half of them. But if you're looking for food from a cafe, they're almost exactly the same at every single one, plus or minus a few items. But I think they're a great place to just chill and just meet up with friends as well. A lot of people like to do work there or simply chill, and it's a nice environment that I feel like not that many people utilize. And given how many there are, there's probably always one nearby to grab something real quick. There are some special exceptions that I think make some of them better than others. Crane Cafe has a really cool setup where you can watch TV, and they also serve boba. Roar Cafe up in the business buildings actually doesn't let you use your food swipes, but I believe they are licensed with Starbucks, so you can try getting a Starbucks drink there. Each cafe has something that just makes it slightly special than the other, so while they're all kind of generically the same thing, try finding one that you might like, and it might be a hidden gem. Tip number 6 is to use the OSU buses, or figure out another way to get around campus. Ohio State is big. You have North Campus, South Campus, West Campus, even more West Campus, West North Campus, whatever's going on there, and walking from one end to the other could be at least 20 minutes. The OSU app that I mentioned from before straight up show you the lines that are operating within the day, such as the ones going north to south, east to west, west to east, whatever the combination. It can cut traveling time down by at least half, making the walk from north to south usually 15 minutes down to possibly 5. It's also free for all OSU students, so I don't see a reason why not to. And if you don't like riding buses, you can ride a bike, you can bring a skateboard, you can be a menace and get one of those scooters. But if you end up doing that, remember to follow road etiquette still, and try and not go on sidewalks. And it is kind of dangerous because you might be hitting other people. I ride a bike on campus and I generally stick to the main roads. Unless I'm late for class. If you are riding your bike or scooter on campus, here's a quick picture of all the bike racks at OSU. There's also parking passes if you want to drive, but those prices range differently from which parking lots you're in, so I would suggest checking out the OSU website for that. Any of these ways really cut down your time going around campus, and I genuinely can't recommend it more. Unless you're taking my bike rack spot, then you should probably ride something else. Tip 7 is know what's in the gyms. There are 3 main ones on campus: North Rec and Jesse Owens North, Jesse Owens South, and the Recreational and Physical Activity Center, or RPAC. All of these places have equipment and free weights, so if you don't want to work out where everyone is, there's a lot of different options to choose from. But the RPAC is the main one that everyone goes to. It has the most stuff, such as at least 6 inside basketball courts, a huge gym area, table tennis, billiards, swimming pools with a kiddie pool, a hot tub and sauna, workout classes, badminton, golf, and outside, pickleball, tennis, a soccer field, a football field, volleyball courts, basically all that stuff for free as long as you're a student. You can also rent out balls and rackets for specific sports, but if it is a racket sport, you'll probably have to pay like a one-time cost to actually buy the ball for that racket sport. Additionally, on top of the 3 main gyms, there's also the Adventure Recreation Center, which is all the way out on West Campus past the highway, but it really is worth it out there. They have indoor volleyball nets, an indoor rock climbing gym, as well as indoor soccer fields. And considering that OSU also has intramural sports, feel free to make your own team or join a team and go and play, which you can do through their goofy and kind of bad website. I don't know why, it just sucks. $50. And there's also different leagues whether you want to be really competitive or you just want to have a fun time. Anyways, gyms are pretty cool. Just remember that there is a big rush at the start of each semester, whether that's New Year's resolutions or just trying to visit the campus, so probably work around your gym schedule for those times. Tip number 8 is the best study spots on campus. You thought I'd tell you where all the best study spots are? Nuh-uh-uh, I got 2 more years, so I'm not saying anything. But I will tell you how to find the best study spots. I think some of the best ways for me is to just go into a random building. You can go inside and explore a lot of the different nooks and crevices that just have chairs and tables lying around. And sometimes these are the best places to study. You can also use OSU's room matrix to find out what classrooms are being used and when, and go in and study in them when they aren't being used, which are pretty good places to study with friends. Or you can watch a movie in them. I've also done that too. There's always a lot of those counters around in every single building that you can also study at. I know one specific strat that I would use would be going to a dining hall, specifically Scott, at around 2:30. I would go and eat lunch, and then the whole dining hall would close at 3. However, they don't actually kick anyone out at 3 p.m. And since the dining hall is closed from 3 to 4 p.m., I can still stay in there and just get free drink refills from the machines. And other than random buildings, there's also a lot of other great places. Every single dorm also has a study area that you can be in. Odd buildings such as the RPAC and the Union also have places to study. I mean, I've seen people literally use a hallway. Like, there's just like a divot in the hallway and people just use that and then they just lock in there. I mean, each to their own, but find out what works best for you. But if you are a library guy, tip number 9 is to go to the other libraries. Everyone at OSU knows Thompson Library. You probably walked in there during orientation, you've probably studied in there. Your peer leader probably said, "Oh, if you touch this guy's bald head, it'll give you good luck during tests." That didn't work. But there's other libraries as well. 18th Avenue Library is probably the second most popular given that it's closer to North Campus, as well as being open for 20 hours a day during weekdays. But there's so many more libraries on campus that are worth it. The Architecture Library on the 4th floor in Knowlton is a really nice modern spot with even a rooftop garden next to it. The Geology Library in Orton has that older feeling to it made out of wood. The Fine Arts Library is pretty sizable and has a nice aesthetic to it. And the Food, Agricultural, Environmental Sciences Library, wow, that's a long name, isn't really near anything. It's on West Campus, but if you have some classes around there, it's a nice option to go to. If you go to the OSU app, you can actually register rooms within specific libraries, basically reserving it for that hour. I believe they open up a week before, but they do run out really fast, so keep that in mind. And finally, for tip number 10, is just a bunch of random tips that I wanted to throw in. They're nothing too big, but it's just a list of stuff that I really wanted to mention. For example, when signing into OneDrive or anything Microsoft related, type in your name.number and then at buckeyemail.osu.edu, because just typing in at osu.edu doesn't work. When signing into Wi-Fi here, there's actually 3 different types. EDU Roam is the traditional student Wi-Fi. You need your name.number and your password to sign in. Meanwhile, Wi-Fi at OSU is the public one that anyone can access. It is slower and more unreliable, and after a while it does disconnect you. And if you want to register other devices such as TVs, Xboxes, or PlayStations, you need to go to Registered for OSU and sign in through there. The biggest dining hall traditions at Scott closes its upstairs area during the weekends. So there's no Asian station, there's no Mongolian grill, and there's no Latin station. And on the weekends, they also serve their breakfast food until 3 p.m. rather than their usual 11 a.m. If you're trying to find the portal for housing, for printing, for STEP, for Buckeye Link, it's probably easier just to type it in and Google it, and then find the link for it rather than navigating OSU's page. Printing anything would be through Follow Me Printing. You would click on it, you would upload your document. After doing so, you would go to the printing machine, swipe your Buck ID, and print it from there. Rate My Professors is one resource that you can use to look at classes and professors, but other resources such as OSU Course Search, The Grade Guy, or Ohio State's Student Evaluation Indexes are also other good resources. Don't believe everything that's said on these sites about professors or classes, because sometimes they're just straight up wrong, but it is a resource to look at. If you're ever walking on the Morrill Tower Bridge and it's raining and wet, stick to the left and right side of the bridge because that's where the highest elevation is so that you don't get your shoes wet. Your RA probably knows a lot of answers to your questions, so utilize them and ask them questions for info, specifically this guy in particular. He's very helpful. There's this vent outside of Scott Labs that's very warm. I don't know why, maybe it's poisonous gas, but it is very warm. And yeah, these are my top 10 tips for people coming to OSU. If you have any questions or things you want to add, feel free to leave it in the comments and I'll probably respond to it. If you do like the video, you should totally watch some of my other ones and subscribe. Doing so will help me get monetized and fund my Pokemon card addiction, which I think is a great thing. And go watch my OSU Dining Hall review series that'll be out in a week, or it's already out if you're watching this later.